hear myself through my headphones. Yes, man. Like, I feel real good about this right now.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
Okay.
No,
I had to, there was something in the camera.
started recording. She started doing something.
But I wasn't even.
You should have seen it earlier, bro. She was already trying to hide shit in the background and shit earlier, man.
Hey, I just want to apologize to the listeners. We got a lot of, grown adults, sophisticated listeners. And I listened to the last podcast, specifically the last 20 minutes of the last podcast. And I cursed entirely too much. So I'm on a profanity hiatus. I can't even imagine my mom listening to that. My unborn child listening to that. Like, I can't imagine that. Unborn child is the right term, right? If your child not born yet.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
So did you get? You said you got called out about it? Somebody said something to you?
Called out.
No, did somebody say you was cursing
What
too
that
much,
mean?
or you just
What called out?
called out? Meaning they call you on it. Like, did they say, hey, man, you're cursing too much? That's
Like
what I'm
who?
asking.
Like who though? Like who was gonna say it? Like somebody was gonna call me out.
Yo, listener, shit. I was
Somebody
like,
call me out.
hell.
Hey,
You got me cursing. Look at that. You got me cursing. I don't even curse. You
gotta chill
already
out,
started, bro. You said you weren't cursing. So in my mind, I'm thinking I wasn't
gotta
cursing.
chill
You
out,
asking me
man.
all this shit. Oh, see, I'm for the
See, you gotta stop. You see, I ain't saying
Oh,
too many
man.
words. I ain't saying too many
Yeah.
words because I know where this could go.
But you know what? To your defense, though, Damo, you came in a bad mood.
I was
This
lit.
last
I was
you
heated.
came in hot on fire, so
Yeah, I was heated. So the episode before last, my mom said something to me about it, right? Not like, you need to stop. She said it subtly. She was like, you cursed a lot this episode. as if it was like a basketball stat. He made a lot of threes. She's like, you cursed a lot this episode.
Yeah,
and so I'm like, all right, like, let me go back to the drawing board, figure it out. And me and Tisha, we just got into like this conversation and I just was cursing a lot, man. And that's not really like indicative of like a great podcaster / leader / father human, so I got to be a better podcaster / leader / father human. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So
I agree.
I got to try to curse less.
You got to do better, bro. You got to do better. I agree.
Gotta do
Everything
better.
you see. You got to do a little bit better, bro.
He's like,
do a little
do better.
Yeah, I was also wrong.
Go ahead, man. No, go ahead. What you was wrong about? All these things you wrong about, I want to hear them all, man. Go ahead.
But you see how I just take ownership? Like, nobody got to call me to the carpet. You know what I mean? I was wrong about like next week being our anniversary episode. Like I told the listeners, our anniversary episode was in 2 weeks. I was wrong about that. Our first episode we ever did launched on November the 5th. And then we officially launched the podcast, like social media and stuff, November the 11th. And that kind of get us caught up with Veterans Day. But we don't got to stay there. We could go back to the 5th where we supposed to be. So, yeah. So I was wrong about that. So I'll let you do the rest, Damon.
Yeah, man. So that means, hey, this is our anniversary.
Yeah, man. New app, no sound effects, y'all. So we got to do it ourselves.
No, yeah.
We got to do it ourselves.
And if you guys don't know, it's a pretty big deal, man, because things have changed. You know what I mean? I remember like we was doing an episode on Thursday or Saturday, and it was going down Thursday or Saturday. Now we got schedules. Now things have changed a little bit. Now we got a new member to the team, with all our technical difficulties. But but we rolling though, man. So I have to start off with the first question, man, of the anniversary pod is, what's the most memorable moment in this year?
Tish, you want to go?
I'll start off. I think, I have two. The first one was my very first time being on, because it was something completely different than what I'm used to. And I just felt so vulnerable. Like, what? I'm about to be on, like, what? They actually have a following. I'm about to be on here to be judged for the world. But, that was my first, that's like my, like, my biggest, one of my biggest moments, favorite moments. The other one was when, I forgot his name. Chip. No, was it Chip?
Yeah. I think so, I guess. Youth. Yeah, Chip Youth.
Yeah, that one. Because it was such a deep conversation that we didn't even mean for it to like be that, because we stayed on his childhood for a while, but it was so deep. I felt like it really like broke barriers in my own personal life to where, you know, I realized I had to start making changes to like just my way of thinking back then. Like I was crying on this shit and all that. Like I was like,
yeah.
Deep, bro.
Chiefs don't cry. Chiefs don't cry. But yeah, like, and again, like I was vulnerable with our listeners, completely caught off guard by that. But yeah, that was a good moment for me.
Yeah, I feel bad.
And I think he was one of our best guests too.
Yeah, I feel bad for whoever started listening to us after the Chip episode and didn't go back to it. Like if you started listening to us after the Chip episode, go back to it. It's called The Outward Mindset. Go back, listen to that episode. That's one of our best episodes, like all through and through, like for the last 3 years. For this year, Damon, for me, Mongo episode was one of my most memorable moments. The episode with Mongo for, the reasons that we know of, but it was just memorable because I ain't know, man. I'm like, damn, we gonna get in trouble after this. Like this what gonna get us. After the Mongo episode, the episode with that I did when I spilled the water on the laptop. Because it was just it was like, yo, Terrell Davis hit me up. He wants you to, he wanted you to speak with, he want us to talk to his partner, Eric, and like I'm already late. I'm like about to be like 30 minutes late for the pod. We record and I spilled water on the laptop. And I'm gonna put that. So we made that clip in one of our episodes, but it was messed up. Almost cursed. It was messed up. So I'm gonna put it out this week to kind of celebrate the episode. So they too. I got so many. Yeah, some bloopers. I got so many because Dean episode was crazy too. But that's my two that I'm gonna say for the moments. I got some editing moments too, Damon. But I'm interested in whatever yours is too.
Yeah, man. I was just thinking about the memorable time. But first, before I say that, though, I was going to ask a question about your favorite episode, right? Your favorite one. And I had already written down it was Chip, right? So I had already written it down. It was Outward Mindset episode 68, right? Check it out.
But 68 is Chip?
Yeah, that's 68.
Yeah, go listen to that.
But my most memorable moment, man, is when we had the one about the rates, man, and we hit 287K, man. Like, I'm talking about that hit, like that clip hit hard because we was like, we get 1,000 here views, you know what I'm saying? We get, maybe get 2,000. This thing hit 287, man. It was flying, man. And I remember like Dumbo, like behind the scenes stuff, Dumbo we was hitting each other up. Like, man, it's going. We were talking about little things here, man. Like, but that was episode, man, really like turned a different switch on though. I remember talking about it, turned a different switch on, like, man, we can do this, man. Another level to motivation and things like that, man, of doing this thing, man. So that was my memorable moment, man. Big time.
Yeah, I think we needed it too, man, at that time. Like, I think we needed some connection. I think the first clip we ever had that like made any kind of mark on more than 500 people or something was Tish, right? When Tish did the clip about the dude that tried killed his son and stuff like that. And then we had a couple other people, come on and do some stuff, but that one did take us to another level. But we needed that because it's like you don't always see everything. Like, you get YouTube views, not everybody likes it. You get listeners, but not everybody really say, hey, I'm a listener on this. But now the community is building where we do hear from the same people quite often. But I think that TikTok thing kind of opened us up to a younger group of listeners too. The people that we always been trying to connect with. So I think we definitely needed it at that time.
Yeah, man. Most definitely, man. And now we got to get into some changes, man. We had some changes to the pod. You guys see me and Dumbo last time. So some changes that happened. Right. One is being Tish. Like that's probably one of the biggest changes. But we had to get that perspective, man. We had to get Tish perspective on some things, man. So if you guys don't know, Tish actually did a episode with us before we actually brung her in. You know what I mean? So from day one, man, like I think after the episode, me and Dumbo was kind of like talking about it, because we was already, before we was talking about, trying to get a female. We need a female, on the podcast. So once we did it with her, we started talking about it, and we asked, and of course she said yes. And you guys see her here right now kicking some butt on the podcast, man. I said butt. See what I'm saying? Holla at your boy.
Yeah, you did good, man. Yeah. I'm just shutting up, so.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is because it felt so organic. When I came on for the first time, it just felt like I already knew Damon. I knew of Damon, but I didn't really know Damon, and I ain't know Damo from a can of paint. Like, I ain't know you at all. And so, but when I came in, it felt real natural. Like I started off being nervous, of course, but after a while, it was just like I was kicking it with old friends, old shitmates or whatever. And so, it was good that y'all are like good, genuine people, because I really wouldn't have done it if I didn't think that you guys were genuine. So shout out to y'all.
Yeah,
shout out to y'all for being good peeps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and let me just point out, y'all been talking about my technical difficulties, but what they say to me, but not on air, is, when we first started, we had a whole lot of technical difficulties too.
Yeah.
We had a lot of problems too.
Well, we don't got to say it, Tish. Because they know.
We do.
The listeners know.
Well, I need to make sure that the new listeners know that they had the same technical difficulties that I be having. And some of those times, I just want to put this out there too, because somebody had called me out once and was like, yeah, you kind of be there, but not really.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But I just want the listeners to know that with these technical difficulties, sometimes I be here, but it don't be right. So I gotta bow out gracefully.
Oh yeah, they know.
Record.
Yeah, they know.
Oh, you be calling me out.
We say we on there like, hey, Tisha's here somewhere. She just not here. They know. The listeners know.
Listen, I be in purgatory somewhere. But I went and got a new laptop. I have 3 different cameras. The first camera Domo told me to get was the one that didn't work for them.
Yeah, it ain't work for me
to get it. But it's actually working now that I got a new laptop. It's actually working. So it's just my Wi-Fi a little janky, and I got the highest speed. It's a little janky, but we working through it.
Yeah.
And I want to take the moment to ask the listeners, what was your favorite moment, of the year, and your favorite episodes. I can tell you my least favorite moment, Damon.
Which one?
So shout out to Buddy Shorey, one of my favorite episodes ever. So shout out to Buddy. However, Buddy says a lot. And I told Buddy that he said a lot. I took out every that Buddy said, with the exception of 6 of them, because I couldn't. So I went through this episode minute by minute, because I edit too. For the listeners who don't know, I think y'all know that by now. But I went through the episode minute by minute, taking every out that Buddy said. It was crazy, man. That was my least favorite edit of the podcast. Audio edit.
I would have thought that my smoke detector would have been.
I took your smoke detector out.
You even said something about my smoke detector once.
I took your smoke detector out once. I took your smoke detector out on one of the episodes, not this latest one, because I think at this point the listeners, they know, you know what I'm saying?
They just know.
But the first time I did take it out, but I couldn't get it all out. But yeah, so they were but the video edits sometimes always suck, right? And for the people who watch it, they probably it's just 2 videos, but that's not really true, because it's a lot of editing with the videos, because sometimes the time ain't right. But the audio, Buddy was the first audio, because normally I don't expect the audio edit to suck. It's take out whatever need to come out and then we good to go. But the audio edit took so long with Buddy. The video edit was actually easier than the audio edit because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dang.
I think my episode, that all the episodes to me, when we get done, man, I feel like it's a pretty good product. I ain't gonna lie about that. I feel like we hitting things that we need to hit. But the one episode, man, when we had the team from Ask the Chief.
Yeah.
Right. I think the people we had on was great. We was talking, we have a conversation, but I think a little alcohol got involved, you know, and then, you know, some questions and the way they was, you know, being delivered. Then like, I've almost felt like we was like challenging each other on stuff. You know what I mean? I think it started going a little downhill, man. And luckily we got a good director and producer named Dumbo to kind of caught, you know, wind of it real quick. And we ended that thing a little sooner than we wanted to. But the audience, see, this is some behind the scenes stuff that you guys don't, this is some behind the scenes stuff that you guys don't know though. You know what I mean? You guys see the episode, you see things, but yeah, man, we aborted that, man. Like, it was getting wild, man.
Yeah. But another good behind the scenes moment was Amari Ponciano. Like, and this was before this year, of course, but when we did the episode with Amari, and we just knew that it was so much good information in it. Remember, I called you. I'm like, yo, this was I think after like really good episodes that's good even for us, like the Chip one. I think Dean Howe, and I'm gonna put something out from Dean too on our anniversary that I never put out. But the Chip one, the Dean one, and Amari Ponciano, man, it's like, yo, Damon, this was a good episode. I can't wait. I already know we getting Amari Ponciano and Alquin Parker on again, and I can't wait to get them on. But that was, I remember calling you like, yo, this was a good episode, man. I can't wait till the listeners get a chance to listen to it.
Man, you talking about genuine? Oh my goodness, man. Everything he was saying, man. Then, yeah, man, that was a good episode, but I don't even get into it, man. But being a damage control man, it was like, man, I'm feeling what he's saying. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like everything was coming out, man. It was crazy. I kind of could put myself, I guess us being in the military period, we can kind of try to put ourselves in those shoes, but we don't know how we going to react, man. You really don't know until, you know, you got to go back to your training. But at the same time, man, when he was saying stuff, you was trying to put yourself in his shoes and you was like, damn, I don't know what I would have did during that time frame, man.
Yeah. I got a question for y'all. Yeah. So when you first think about starting a podcast, you have an expectation, like what you expect to talk about and who you expect your audience to be, stuff like that, right? That's what I would assume that anybody who started a pod would have an expectation. So it's a question for both of y'all too. So when we first started, like, what did you expect from the audience? What did you expect from the podcast? That question, right? If I need to explain it more, tell me. Compared to where we are now, like where the podcast kind of grew its own legs and grew into spots and places that, you know, we might not even intended it to grow into. Like, what's your reflection on that? I'll go first just to kind of like, because I think my question is confusing. When we first started, I imagined that we'd be talking to the junior sellers more than everybody else on a majority of our topics. I also imagined that Chiefs would be like mad at us a little bit for some topics and some things we talked about. However, I feel like the Chiefs connected more earlier because I feel like some of the conversations is like things that they feel like, if for the listeners, if I'm talking a little slower, I'm taking out some curse words that I would have like naturally just said, right? I'm sorry, Bob. But for the Chiefs, I think it's like, yo, this is how we feel. Like some of this stuff, like and I know they don't nobody agree with everything we say, but some of this stuff is actually how we feel. So for the Chiefs and the CEOs, the officers, the LDOs that listen and refer people to us, I expected that a whole lot less than it happens versus I think now we starting to connect with the junior sellers. So that was where my expectation differs from the reality of the podcast. What about you,
Why
Damon?
do you think that is? Why do you think we're connecting more with the junior sellers now? Did the topic change or?
TikTok.
Okay.
TikTok. I mean, we've been talking about Chief stuff a little bit more because the season and like, Tish, you actually bring a lot of Chief topics up too. You know what I mean? Just you going to the khaki balls and stuff like that. So we've been talking about Chief stuff a lot more, but I think the sellers dig in a lot more because of TikTok. And we talk about some things that they care about too.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, man, I'm kind of on the same lines, Dumbo, but I was thinking we was only going to have like I know we connect with the junior sailors, but I thought it was going to be all like junior sailors almost kind of like some of the chief pages on Facebook. You know, we was going to be getting all these questions, and then me and you was going to be doing a pod, and we was going to be answering this stuff and talk about our experiences and what we think and things like that. Because I think like me personally, man, when I'm walking the deck place, I'm doing anything on the ship, it seemed like I relate to these young sailors and they be wanting to come talk to me. So I thought when we get going, a lot of young sailors going to come out and they was going to talk about stuff they can normally, cause me and Dumbo start this thing off. Hey, this permission to speak freely. Come with it. You know what I mean? Type, that's the kind of like the attitude type towards it. So that's kind of what I thought. Now as it grew leg, of course, we got a lot of people in, and then from the officers and the chiefs, man, now I'm kind of more like sitting back, like again, I will say, like, I'm amazed a little bit, man, because I didn't think we'll be where we at right now. I thought there was going to be something like me and Dumbo would just be doing on the weekend or every couple weeks. You know what I mean? We'll put something together. But your passion also changed my mindset too. Like me, my passion was, I'm gonna get on here. Dumbo gonna have me on here, man. He gonna get me to talking, and he had to get me off here. You know what I mean? That's my mindset. You know what I mean? What I was doing, because you know I'm a talker. So I thought that was kind of what was gonna be happening. Then you start structuring shit. Then we started putting stuff together. He was coming over to the house. Dumbo was coming to the house. Like, I'm outside. You know what I mean? Coming. So all of your passion towards like something you really passionate about, you know, kind of moved me, you know, along a lot, man. So most definitely, man, that's kind of where we started at and kind of where we at right now, man. I'm pumped, bro.
Yeah. What about you, Tish? You get invited to a pod. You know a little bit about it. You got an expectation of like who you gonna be talking to, but like, what's your thoughts on that?
Hold on. You know what, Tish? Before I interrupt, I forgot about something. Something. Remember we talked about how many listeners? I mean, how many
episodes?
No, not episodes. On how many people I brung to the pod, and we said it was one. Guess. Actually, who brung Tish?
Oh,
you did.
Yeah.
You did. Yeah.
Sure did.
Yeah. The most important guest. The most important guest we've had. The most important guest we've had.
Can we double it up since it's Tish?
Yeah. We can. I mean, we can count that well. Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Sorry about that, Tish. Go ahead.
That was a good one. So yeah, my expectation coming in, again, like you said, I didn't really know a whole, like I actually hadn't even heard about it. And then when you told me about it, I started kind of looking into it, like, okay, I saw that there was a following, but I didn't know how engaged the followers were. Okay. Yeah. Probably if I had known, I probably would have been a lot more scared, and I probably would have been like, no, I won't do it. But I come in to do it, and I came in where you guys were just building the momentum, I think, from just based off of what you guys are saying. Like you had a shift just shortly after I came on, because that's when you started kind of growing into the whole TikTok stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of came in as y'all were already pivoting over into something else. Yeah. So I didn't really get to see like the beginning part of it. So by the time I came on board, I'm like, oh, they got their shit together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They got their shit together over here. And when like you guys were talking about, I rented this person, like they recognized me from the pod, and I'm just like, hold up. Like I thought it was just going to be like, we were the only listeners.
Yeah, like hobby. It's a hobby.
Us and then y'all parents. That was it. Like I thought that was I thought that was it. But I was just like, dang, like this is like a real thing. And then the first time someone mentioned something to me about it, like, oh yeah, I saw you on the pod with them, and I was just like, me? Yeah. Like, you saw me on there? I was like, oh God. And now here I am. Cause like, although you can't tell that I don't really care for social media, that's not really my strong suit. Like, I feel like in order for me to be on social media, I have to look a certain way. I have to be done. I have to edit the photos. Like I have to look at the photo, kind of, put it like, okay, I don't like that one. I don't like that one. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one right here. Like that's how I have to have my social media. So for me to get on here and to like be in front of all of y'all's listeners, and y'all already established a rapport with these people. I'm like, I don't want to come up in here, mess it up, and then my shit all toe up and everything. So I was like just surprised because you don't really see a lot of, because the other thing was, it was like, okay, it's a military podcast, It's like, oh, this is going to be boring. And I was even wondering how interested I would be after retirement. Cause I was like, I just may not even be into it, which is why I was slow to say yes when you asked. Cause I was like, I don't know what my mindset is going to be on the other side. I may not even care about this shit no more and be like, I don't want to talk about that. But like, it's so much more than just, even though we know we relate things back to military, but it's just so much more than that. It was more than what I expected. Even after I said yes, it was still so much more than I expected. So it was like, oh, I
most definitely thought we was gonna lose you at some point, Tish.
Yeah,
no doubt about that. Yeah. I thought that after all the difficulties and things like that in the beginning, I said, well, shit, Tish probably gonna say F this in a few minutes, man. Like she's tired of doing this, doing that. And we going back and forth talking and right. We was giving you shit about it too. So I said, it's gonna be like man,
and that's the thing. It was because y'all already had something big established. And here I come in, the camera ain't working, Wi-Fi shitty. We can't get the audio, can't get the video. It's blurry. I was like, I'm bringing problems to this thing. And they're already taking off. And like I said, y'all were on this trajectory up. And I was like, I don't want to like hold them back. So I'll admit that at some point I was just like, is this a good fit? Maybe I shouldn't, because I don't want to bring them down. But y'all wasn't having that. They were like, no.
We wasn't having it because you still having some of those issues, and you still here.
I know. I'm still here, but I want to buy new equipment. But y'all stuck with me. I was. If they could see the group chat.
The group chat is fire, y'all. The group chat is fire.
Sometimes I was in that group chat like, I just don't know what to do no more. I've tried everything.
The group chat is fire. But I think the listeners get it, because I definitely want to shout out the listeners too, because I think they understand that Damon going to be doing some inspections sometime. It's going to be a point in time where I'm going to be underway sometime. I got a baby on the way. Like it's not like we like just doing the pod. We living our lives throughout this too. You know what I'm saying? So we spend time talking about ourselves, our life. They know when Damon back was messed up. They know about you looking for jobs. They know about you finding jobs. They know about you getting scammed by the dude. They know about me getting scammed. Right. So they know all this stuff. So Tesla. The other scam I got.
We ain't even talking about the Tesla yet.
Yeah, the Tesla. We're going to get into that. So, and honestly, we have to like applaud. Like I said, we don't have the sound effects. We on a new app, but we got to applaud the listeners for patience. Like sometimes they go a month without a new episode, 5 weeks without a new episode. And then when a new episode come, it's either the same amount or more listeners on that new episode, so I definitely appreciate y'all. I don't think we could do this long with cause we don't make money from it. You know what I mean? So I don't think we could do this long without seeing, feeling and hearing, y'all's appreciation sometimes. So I do want to take a moment to like appreciate y'all a little bit.
Yeah.
No sound effects, so that's where the claps with a K.
Let me give a hand clap.
I'm sure Dumbo might throw a couple of them in there, though. I'm the same way, man. I most definitely want to thank the listeners, man, our supporters, man, and of course the team. You know what I mean? Like we working through schedule conflicts to be here and make things happen. So to you guys too, man, along with the listeners and supporters, man. And we ain't done. Regardless of the situation, regardless of what's going on, we still gonna be here. We still gonna be putting episodes out, and hopefully you guys stick with us, man.
Yeah, we still a very small podcast trying to grow. While we at it, we looking for some help. We need a couple people, right? I might as well get this plug in, right?
Hey, include the announcements.
I'm gonna say this. Hey, look, we looking for a junior seller, right? To come in, not every podcast, but some episodes to come in and like give us your point of view. Every now and then you come in like 2 times a month or something like that. Give us your point of view. We need it. Like We need it. I think we put that out before. I'm putting it out again. We need it. I think we might have one who reached out, but we need that. That's the first one. Another thing we need, and I know we've talked about us doing it, but I'm gonna throw it out in the ether and see what kind of comes back. We're looking for somebody that could like talk to guests for us, talk to us, nail down our schedules, nail down guest schedules, and get us interviews and conversations with people that sometimes it's harder for us to connect and figure out, especially going with a guest and stuff like that. So that's what we are looking for. And as far as help with the pod, will you make any cash from doing this? The answer is no. You are doing this for the moral victory of the greater good. Just like us. Will you spend money? Will you spend any money like us? No. You're not going to spend no money. We spend a couple dollars to do this, to do the production and stuff like that. You won't have to. We just need you here. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Most definitely.
Yeah. So
man. And you don't have to be. You don't have to be a YN either. You know how we was talking about the YN.
Yeah. We don't need no damn. Yeah,
it can be a YN. I'm just saying it don't have to be one. He's like, because we ain't gonna be able to get nothing. Not the first class YN. Gonna be shut. That's down. not the first class female YN like you were talking about.
Yeah. Hey, can you schedule a guest with us? Can you schedule a guest with us? Now you gotta hit me up after such and such time. Like, yeah, this for the pod. This for the pod, man.
Work, man.
Hey, we got some topics, right? We got a couple topics.
Man. Yeah.
You know, I know you had one that was real near and dear to your heart, man. It wasn't near and dear to mine, though, but it was near and dear to yours. What was that about, man?
Hold on. Which one are you talking about?
David don't ever know what his topic is.
David ain't ready. He fumbling, y'all. We gonna give him some time.
David don't ever know what his topic
is. I don't know what you're talking about.
Flavor.
I know exactly. I know what you're talking about. That was my taste, so I don't know my topic, man. So Flavor Flav, man. What's up?
Every time you know. I'm gonna always call you out when you don't.
Yeah, he do. He reminds me though.
He start grabbing that phone.
He suddenly reminds me, man. You know.
No, it don't be so. He be like, whenever there's a pause, that means it's a entertainment topic.
Hey, Tish, man, calm down, Tish. Calm down.
Tish, boy, I tell you, Tish remind me.
Calm down.
Sounds just like Dumbo too.
She the mediator. Yeah, she did a face and everything.
That's how Dumbo get. Like,
oh man,
stop.
So Flavor Flav, man. Flavor Flav with this national anthem, man. What's really going on with that national anthem, man? Like, are we serious right now, man? Like, and I thought about it for a minute, man, and I don't want to blame Flavor Flav no more, man. I blame who put that together, man. Who booked him, the whole nine, man, because I don't think it's a money thing. The dude sitting up iced out. If you guys saw the video, he iced out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Clock, whatever else he got on. So I don't really think it's I said it just like that. I said that on purpose, whatever else he had on. But, yeah, man, like Flavor Flav should have been up there saying that, man. Like I'm telling you right now, like we could go to a blues festival. We can go to the headliners. We can go to whoever. You can go outside in the backyard and find somebody to sing that shit better than freaking Flavor Flav did, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. That stuff was like crazy, man. It was crazy. And I'm embarrassed, man, for the community a little bit too, man.
For what community?
For the black community, man. Yeah, man, we known for singing, man. Like we known for hip hop and singing and stuff, man. We put Flavor Flav. You might well have me up there, man. You know what I mean? Shoot, man, for real. Shit, man, that was crazy, man.
You know, Flavor Flav.
I didn't know anything about it until you mentioned it, and I was like, that's why I was like, is this a joke? Like, is that a real thing? And so I went and looked it up on YouTube. I couldn't even make it through the whole thing.
Me either.
I couldn't even watch the whole thing because I was laughing so hard. It looked a hot mess. It was a hot mess. It was hurting my ears. First off, I can't stand when nobody mess up the national anthem. I can't stand it. And so it was just horrible.
That's
Did it exactly the way he talked. I can't.
Hey, Doughboy, it was horrible, bro.
I want to give a shout out to Flav though, man, for getting up there. Flav got booked. Somebody booked Flav to do this, right? So
they had a Timu budget.
They booked Flav. And this would be making the NBA. This would make the NBA look like they don't love America. The NBA already look like they don't love America, right? Things like this just make it worse, right? But somebody booked Flav, and Flav went up there, and I think he did his best work that he could do.
He did. He was serious.
I don't think Flav took this like it was a joke. It's just that I don't know what key that was that Flav was singing there, but I ain't never heard that key before. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was the thing. Yeah, that was, and we know Flav can't sing.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. We know he can't sing. You know what else though? We know he can't sing, and I think he know he can't sing.
Yeah, they did play dirty.
He got his happy ass up there, man. He still jumping that stage.
Flav got a check though. Flav took a check.
Flav got that check.
Flav took a check. Yeah, Flav definitely took a check. I think
when they called, he was probably surprised.
Yeah. Flav was like, that's an easy check. I would get up there like, all right, that's a check. Now, my question, outside of Flav is who y'all think had the best anthem?
Oh man, it's easy for me. It's
Whitney. Yep.
Whitney. It's easy. It's something out there. It's some good ones out there.
Easy.
Man, Whitney made that. Whitney is easy, man. For me,
can't nobody touch Whitney Houston.
Now
it's been something
Whitney not mine. Whitney ain't mine.
Okay, who's yours, man?
Marvin Gaye, the NBA All-Star game.
Well, Marvin Gaye changed the whole anthem, though.
Yeah, Marvin Gaye got the best one.
He did. He did his own thing on his, though. No doubt about that. Creativity. Yes.
Yeah, he made that thing sound like sexual healing, man. He made that thing sound like, let's get it on. I like Jimi Hendrix too. I like Jimi Hendrix, but that's a different version of it. You know, I like the alternative joints.
Now, I don't want to butcher this name. I think this is the name, but Alana Adams. I think her name is Alana. I don't know if it's Alana. The Adams. She's a gospel singer. Yolanda Adams. I'm sorry about that. But Yolanda Adams. But hey, she can blow too, man.
She got pipes.
She did. She did good too.
It wasn't no Whitney.
I mean,
it still wasn't no Whitney Houston.
Whitney my number one, no doubt about that.
Whitney killed it. Whitney killed it. Whitney killed it. I think one of the times Christina Aguilera did it, she murdered it. The other time she was okay. Whitney killed it. She destroyed it. I give it to Marvin Gaye because of just the moment, and he took it and made it his own and all that. As far as singers, though, I think Whitney. I think we all. I don't know if we all do, but I think Whitney is the greatest of all time as far as singers. Her
and Luther Vandross.
Oh, Luther for the men?
Yeah.
Did Michael Jackson ever do national anthem? I don't think so, right?
If he did, it wasn't memorable.
He wasn't, and he not a.
I think we would have remembered that.
He ain't a ballad type. He ain't a ballad. He ain't really a ballad dude. Michael go give you. Michael go start.
That's kind of like a ballad.
He ain't want to do Heal the World, yo. I don't think he wanted to do Heal the World.
It wasn't him. I mean, it was him, but it wasn't really him.
Not his style.
He got to do some kicks and moonwalk, man. He need them songs, man.
He was a Flavor Flav the national anthem too.
Yeah, that was one of them Flavor Flav looks. So I ran into a seller. A seller, right? This is a little serious, but I want to talk about a little bit, Tish, with you. So they were talking about having kids, and the seller, she said, she was talking to like another seller, and she's like, I can't have kids. And the girl was like, oh yeah, I forgot. So we talking, and we get into why she can't have kids. And she said she had a fibroid, one, right? My wife had 9 of them. So I've dealt with it, and I know what it is. Listeners of the pod kind of know what that is too. Some of them already knew, whatever. But I said, you had one, could you have just had gotten it removed? She said she had to get a hysterectomy. So I said, well, how big was the fibroid? She said the fibroid was the size of her uterus. You know what I mean? It was the same size of her uterus. So she had to get the uterus removed. Now, this is where my questioning kind of come in at. I was talking about people being insensitive to medical and health because they don't know what you're going through. Right. Mm-hmm. So she was talking about that. Now she said that she got the worst of it from other women, not the dudes who didn't know what she was going through. She said other women was like, well, I had fibroids too, or you could get up and go. You could do this. You could do this. My question for you is, why do we do that?
I would say for a lot of things, when it comes to being a woman in the military, when you are going against women, sometimes it's an uphill battle. Women in leadership, I'll say that, because junior sailors, not so much. It's women in leadership. And I don't know if it's because women in leadership feel like they have to be tougher. And, it's always the assumption that somebody's trying to get over. I really don't, I don't have a good answer, because I try not to be that. Mm-hmm. And when I'm being as a leader, I try to sympathize with my, sailors. And even if it's something that I've never gone through personally, or if I have, but my situation was different, I'm still going to try to, have a human factor to it and just try to understand and not assume the worst in people. And I think as women, a lot of times we go so much harder on each other, especially when it comes to hair regulations and stuff. Oh God, listen, the Facebook page.
Yeah.
It used to be a Royal Rumble in there. Just based off of grooming regulations, just people just going hard on people or whatever, loud and wrong. But, in that situation, I 100% can understand where she's coming from, but I just don't really have a good answer as to why women just be going in on other women like that.
Yeah. I got a little comment, man. I got a little comment about it. So first off, we need to stop playing doctor. You know what I mean? You got them out there for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. The second thing is we need to stop thinking we know sailors and know people. People put you in a box real quick because I was late for duty one day. I was late for watch. So now now you think I'm faking about everything now.
Everything.
I come up with this situation and automatically, oh yeah, he did this last week. He lying. They could have still did this. They still could have did that. No, that's not your job description. You know what I mean? Stay in your lane, go do some PMS, let the doctors deal with that stuff, man. That gets to me a little bit, man, because you were correct though. I mean, people, I know the conversation we're talking about is women, but other people do it all the time though. They automatically assume that you're faking or you're doing this. That's not our job to do. This is not our job.
Yeah, I got another question on that topic, right? But I want to shout out to the medical people first, right? Hey, shout out to y'all docs, man. I know I put the clip out and I was talking about the doc with the thing on my ear who was putting the lights in people's ear, right? And I know some docs really got mad. I know a couple of y'all, y'all was upset. I'm going to just be straight with y'all. It was true. It's a true story. I can't take that back. He really did it. He really did it. It really happened. Other people from my ship, when they heard it, they was like, yo, it happened to me too. It really happened. The dude did it. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all might have pride of y'all rate and everything like that, but the doc really did that. Y'all need to go find him, talk to him. You know what I mean? But I can't.
Right. Give him some equipment.
Just to add to that, man, if I'm in a meeting or if I'm anywhere around some people I'm talking to and we want a good laugh, I tell the dumbo about the light and the flashlight, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
man, it's funny. It's crazy. Hell, man, I'm sorry.
Ain't no cap in my rap, man. It happened. It really happened, y'all. So on that topic that we was just talking about, right? My question for y'all, and because I'm going into this phase, I'm not in it yet. Did having kids change the way y'all received things from y'all sailors who had kids when their kids was sick or having an issue or something was going on with their spouse and the kid or something like that? Did that change how y'all received the information?
Well, I'll tell you that I was E5, but very junior when I had my first kid. So I had not yet been in a leadership position. Yeah. So it didn't really necessarily change it. But by the time I did get to a leadership position, I did have a little bit more empathy. And I feel like I was not really lenient, but I understood Like, I understand that when daycare call, it ain't really nothing you can do about that. Like, it is what it is when they call, and they call for everything. Everything. Oh, the baby got a runny nose. Okay, wipe that shit and keep it moving. I'm at work. Leave me alone. Are they dead or dying? No? Okay, leave me alone. But the ones who don't have kids, the leaders who don't have kids, a lot of times I've seen where they just don't understand it, you know? But I have had situations where it was just like, I knew this sailor because of I've gone through the process and everything. I know that they on some bullshit when they on some bullshit. So I'll be quick to call it out. But, you know, I understand, especially being a single parent, because I wasn't really single at the beginning. We were married, and even after we got a divorce, he was still here. So, but I was able to understand that I had the type of support system that most of them don't have. If they're a single parent or if the father's not out here. I've had to freaking, I was almost helped to deliver a baby. I was there while she was in labor the whole time because her husband was flying from Virginia. And so she didn't know anybody else. So I was a chief. So I went with her to the hospital and I stayed with her. And so I saw more of this sailor than I ever wanted to see of any of my sailors. But it's, having a kid, I will say that it did change the way that I militaried, if that's a word. It ain't a word, but I just made it a word. It did change how I military, because, that became to be like my drive and my motivation for doing stuff. It was like, now I got a whole human being that's relying on me to get this thing right, and picking duty stations and picking where I'm going to live. I got to worry about the school districts. So it did create a little bit more. You have to think about a lot more. You're not just moving yourself from place to place anymore. So get ready, Damo. It's about to be a whole nother world.
Can't wait.
One, but yeah.
Can't wait. Hey, Damon, you remember the question? Because Tisha, she okay. Because you know, Tisha took the topic, man. She beat it down. She beat it down. She lifted it back up. She resuscitated it. She took it to a whole nother level, baby.
I did. I
remember the
that
topic.
thing back around.
Wasn't even the question no more. But you know, man, I had my first kid, man, in my early 20s, man. So that's all I kind of like know almost, man. Like, you know, having a kid around and things like that.
What rank
So,
were you?
I think I was an E5. But I was like 21, you know, 22, 21, 22.
Yeah, me too.
But that's not what I learned this from, man. I learned early on in my Navy career from experience and watching my leaders, man. And I had one leader that I learned from, man. Hey, stuff you can't control, you can't control. Right? Just don't even try it, man. Don't try to, if your sailor is having, you know, issues that's going to, you know, hurt their performance or hurt whatever they got going on, what is going to hurt you to let them go? Or what is going to hurt you to let them do what they need to do? How is that going to affect, you know, what you got going on? So I kind of learned that, man, like even when we talking about certain situations, we talking about semio stuff, we talking about whatever we talking about, I'm trying to help in any way possible. We talking about a medical condition. I'm trying to help any way possible because I'm showing them that I care about them and what they got going on. And I think at the end of the day, that's going to help me, you know, because they know I'm there for them, if that makes sense. So I never, even if I wouldn't have had no kids, I think learning from my leaders before me that how they handle business, that's what we learn from. We learn from watching other people, man. So I think I would have, you know, been in the same boat, but what a kid does it does make you look at things differently because you got that experience of having a kid. So when a sailor is talking to you, you kind of can put yourself in those shoes. I think that's what the whole benefit from the whole thing of having kids. Cause now you kind of know if you, daycare, you start talking about daycare stuff, you've been there before. So you can fall back on some experience from it and things like that. But, for like, if I had a situation where if I didn't have kids and my sailor need to go to daycare, I don't feel like I would have an issue with it because I know, you know, they would have a big issue if they couldn't go take care of their family, you know, so. Yeah.
You know what? I'll say this too, because, my bad, Domo.
That's cool.
Sailors join the Navy typically pretty early on in their life, like right after high school.
Yeah.
They leave home a couple years down the road or however long down the road they get a kid. They don't know nothing about raising a kid. Like most of us had our first kid in the military, and they look to their chief most of the time asking questions. I know when I was a junior sailor, when I first had my kid, I was going to my chief. Like, what do I do? What this is going on? Should I be concerned? Should I go to medical? So I used to have those conversations with my chiefs too, and my supervisors. Like, I got this whole kid. Like, I don't even know if this is a serious issue. Is it something that's normal? And so I think having a kid, like you were saying, Damien, like it gives you that experience because you are almost like their parent. For a lot of these sailors, we are like their parents. Like that's why they call them sea mamas and sea papas or sea daddies or whatever. I say papa because daddy just sound a little bit weird.
Daddy sound wild. Daddy something else. Yeah, sea daddy. Sea daddy sounds different.
Right. Sea papas.
Hey, the Pharaoh go. They got the Pharaoh.
Hey, for all the listeners, I don't get called none of those names at all. Zero.
Pharaoh, what's that song? Right? Meet me in the Pharaoh. Meet me in the Pharaoh.
Right. But I do hear Sea Mama a lot. I never heard like Sea Daddy. I actually have heard Sea Daddy before. Yeah, but they look at us like an extension of their family. Like, you're my mom when I'm away from her. I had a sailor before who called me 9:30 at night, and she was like, "Chief, my kid just pooped in a tub. What do I do?" And I was, it's 9:30 at night. I'm trying to enjoy my evening. So what do I do? I'm like, oh, she calling me 9:30. I'm about to have fun with this. So I'm like, the only way you can get it, you got to use your bare hand. If you put anything else in there, it's going to be a catastrophe. So you got to use your bare hand. And she's like screaming in the phone like, gee, no. Like, no, you got it. You have to do it that way. She put her hand in there, and then I was dying laughing. She was like, I got it. I was like, you didn't even have to do that. I was just playing. She was bad. The next day she came in, she was hot. But they're calling us a lot of the times for parental advice, or like how to raise their kid and stuff like that. And so, yeah.
Yeah, but when you were talking the first time, when you was answering the question the first time, one of the things you brought up was a single parent thing, right? Mm-hmm. And I do you think and this based off your experience, so this is your opinion, this ain't a fact. What's your thoughts on how the commands you've been to value single parents, single moms in particular?
From my experience, it's been a little mixed. It depends on where I am. Mm-hmm. I've been in some environments where it was more understood, and the command was a lot more supportive. I've been to others where not so much. So yeah, I've been in a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you that the morale for those ones, when you're not in a supportive atmosphere, like it can be bad.
Yeah, I've seen some single moms have a hard time, man, trying to figure it out between daycare, this, that. Then they struggling with the dude causing stress somewhere else, stuff like that.
Right. And also,
go ahead. I was
going to say, and also, after they have their first kid, then they're questioning the rest of their time in the Navy because, after they finish their pregnancy tour, it's time to go back out to sea. You got to go finish out that sea duty. And a lot of times they're like, I don't want to leave my baby. I can't imagine leaving my baby. I think I'm going to get out. And so during that time is like usually when I would try to like get other senior enlisted or officers who are also single parents, like, hey, go talk to this person. They're a single parent too. And they're a chief or they're a senior chief or officer or whatever. And just get from them like, okay, it is possible. Will it be hard? Yes, but it is possible. But I never have that. Well, I never had that moment where I was like, oh, I think I'm going to get out because I don't want to be away from my kid because I've been on a shore heavy rating. I'm in a shore heavy rating. And so, but the ones that are more, don't be laughing, but the ones that are more sea intensive, like they're right back out there. They're right back in it.
Yeah, man. Hey, I wanna add a little bit to that, man, because the junior sailor, single parents, is very hard on them. But man, I found myself in a situation before, from my experience, that was hard on me. Because I'm trying to fight for them, you know, in certain situations, and I'm going to the chain of command, and some of my chain of command not seeing it how I'm seeing it. And now you have to go back and deliver this bad news when they know, you know what I'm saying, that you're trying to go to fight, you trying to fight for them, you trying to make sure they good to go. And man, I remember, no shit, man, an experience I went through before I went told a sailor, I had to go like in my office for like 30 minutes and think of how I was going to deliver this message.
Yeah.
You know, because the chain of command wasn't supportive of the young sailor. And that's just a situation about a single parent. We talking about a lot of different situations that we can be talking about right now when it comes to a lot of stuff that we don't think, you know, is right, but, you know, we in the Navy or whatever. So it's a lot of situations like that, man. It's hard. Think about it on leaders sometimes, man, when you got to deal that bad, you know, information or whatever, you got to deliver that message.
Yeah.
I got a question, Domo.
What's up?
So in your time, since you don't have kids, have you ever felt like you always had to cover? Like, was it annoying where you felt like I always got to cover for people because the ones with kids always got problems or they always got to leave early?
The only time I felt like I had to cover for somebody, like in that type of situation, shout out to my man Deontay. What up, man? What's going on, Brody? We went through the season together. He had like 6 kids and adult like sister. Like, so he had like 6 kids and then like an adult sibling. It was either his sister or his wife's sister. And he couldn't do anything like through the season. Like he could, like nothing he could really do. He's like late places and stuff like that. So that was a little frustrating. I don't know if he listens to the pod. If he do, like I said, shout out, bro. But that was frustrating for us as a group because it's like, yo, he not here. Deontay not here. Deontay not here. Deontay not here. And then every time we showed up, like at the work stuff, it was like the united front, but it was like back outside of work, Deontay wasn't, and it wasn't like a big group of like 35. It was 4 of us. So like just with Deontay not being there, it was like a lot of chiefs that we had to go see the next day with this product that we kind of made. We held them down. Like a lot of stuff we made and we, you know, we did stuff like that. But like, I felt like, dang, man, what would I do if I had kids? How would I do this if I had kids? And I always had that, like, I have this motor, this switch I can hit that it don't matter what's going on in the world. I can hit this switch and I'm good. I'm gone. Now that I'm about to have a kid and my wife is pregnant, I'm looking at that switch a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Even just me coming up and I said this on a pod before. I felt like not having a kid was an advantage for me for years. You know, hey, we need somebody to do this. I got it. You know what I'm saying? This happening at this time. Saturday, you're going to have to stay late. I got it. I didn't have kids or not. And then when I did get married, my wife is just as ambitious as me when it comes to like life. Right. I ain't even talk about the Navy, just life. She cares as much about work and getting stuff done as me. So we on the same page. So it's like, hey, babe, I got to stay here and get this work done. Right. And it's funny because the gain ain't even a work gain. The gain is a me gain. Like I got this done. I feel better because I got this done. This was my goal. So I never had to deal with that. But now having a kid, I've seen dudes come to work like, yo, my kid was, well, actually, shout out to EMC. I'm going to just say EMC. He know what I'm talking about. But it was times that, you know, me and him would talk. He like, yo, my little girl was crying when I left out the house today to go to work this morning. You know, honestly, I didn't really honestly know how that felt. You know, right now, I still don't. But right now, I can imagine how it feels. And it feels my imagination of how it feels is a whole lot different than my reception of how it felt when he was telling me. Now, there's the crazy part. When he was telling me, I had empathy, right? Like I felt bad when he was telling me, but now I feel like I could feel it actually. And it's a lot worse than how I felt when he was telling me. And it's crazy because I kind of can't even really explain what I'm saying. But I feel like now I could really feel it. If my daughter was crying before I left the house for work, I don't know if I could have made it in. I would have had to call somebody. I'd have had to call somebody like, yo, I'm having a crisis. I'll be in after this crisis is over. So that, and now these are the things that I got to work through in myself as I'm about to have a daughter and, you know, things of that nature. So I do look at it a whole lot different, especially when it comes to that motor, that switch, and that ambition part.
Yeah. Because at home right now, you gotta, your wife, she's grown. She can kind of, you know, she can kind of take care of herself. You know what I mean? So everything now is amplified when you got a kid. Everything, and not even on that, now it's your first kid, right? Yeah. So you still in this process. It's like when you on the second kid, you kind of know how to maneuver a little bit better. You know how to move a little bit better. But this is the first one. And you know what, man?
Before you switch, even with the long distance though, Damon, like I'm a lot better at being long distance with my wife. We did this before, you know. We went through this, but I'm a little tight about the fact that we long distance right now. Number one, because she's pregnant, but number two, I don't know how we gonna maneuver when my baby come. I don't know how we gonna maneuver when my baby come.
You gonna be the one crying when it's time for you to go back.
Yes.
And let me hit you a little bit with this, man. Like I was so like attached that I felt like, and I feel bad about this now, but at the time, I didn't even want, say at the time, my baby mama to breastfeed because I thought the baby was going to be attached to her more than me. And no shit, that was now I'm thinking about it as I'm older. I'm like, I should have did that. You know what I mean?
Because they're gonna be attached. It's natural.
Yeah. So at the time, that's what I was thinking. Like, shoot, I need to be there. I need to make sure when she come in my arms, she ain't crying. You know what I mean? All these things I'm thinking about the whole time, man. And good luck with all that, man. It's gonna be I'm talking about very freaking crazy, and man, you're gonna be it's gonna be crazy. But some other news though, since Dumbo brought this up. And my wife cried for a few minutes, man. This, of course, I'm telling you guys know right now, man. My wife shed tears for a whole lot of stuff, man. But this right here, so we get a package in the mail, right? A little box in the mail, and it's from Angeline and Domo. So my wife's, it's from Angeline and Domo. You know, she's like, what they? Cause the first thing she goes to. Like, first off, she's like, well, what they getting us and what we gonna get them? That's the whole mindset. Like, what got going on, we gotta get them. Yeah, what we gotta get them back. You know, they got us something. But we got asked to be the godparents.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. And look, and then
what did it look
wife,
like? What did it look like? You gotta explain what was in the box.
So we got glasses. We got glasses, and the glasses had, you know, God, mom, God, dad, and stuff like that. Had a little thing on it, man. But the thing about it is, man, it's so big and it's so much of an honor for us, man. Like, and my wife, you know, she takes stuff like me and Dumb will be like, hey, man, hey, you know, what we doing for the girl? You know what I mean? Like this, how we talk. Ella take it like on a whole nother pedestal, man. She ready wow, you know what I mean? She's taking it to a whole nother level, man. But we very, man, we love that, man, and we honor too, man. At the same time, man. Big shouts out to Angeline, Dumbo, man. We love you guys, man. We can't wait, man. We can't wait.
Shout out to Ella. You know, honestly, Ella was a major reason for the decision.
It wasn't David.
Give me a break. I need a break, guys. I need a break on that comment, man.
Hey, bro, look, you know we love you, David. You know we love you, bro. I know. Everything you just said about Ella is a lot of the reasons why we was like, yo, this is the best decision right here. Because, man, Ella, she got all bases covered all the time. This Damon wife, y'all. I mean, I think y'all know. I think I'm saying something stupid right now. But Ella got all bases covered all the time. She like a super woman. Like she does all of this. And then for the other listeners who she's like a superhero, you know what I mean? For the other listeners that might have an issue, but, like the stuff with the kids, the home stuff, the work stuff, Ella makes sure she does it. She got a damn receipt. She got a t-shirt. You know, it happened. Like, so, you know, and then Damon is Damon. I don't want to, you know, get too on that. I know how much Damon care. We know how much Damon going to be there for our daughter. So this was like the extension of what, you know, we wanted to have anyway. And it's crazy because we in DC and that's Cali, and we have a whole lot of friends close to us. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, as far as the care, the comfort, and what we really, really want for our daughter, it's in Cali, you know, and it just happens to be in Damon and Ella. So that was, and she gonna have a tight group because we got other people in Cali that that's gonna be well connected to our daughter as well, and they about to have a kid. Some of our two best friends as well. Okay. And we always wanted y'all to meet them, but hopefully we do make that happen at some point. But yeah, so thanks, Damon. I appreciate y'all accepting that joint, man.
No doubt,
you know
no doubt, man. No doubt.
Fire, man. That's definitely fire. So something happened. Something crazy happened. And it happened I saw it on Twitter. So, and I don't know if y'all saw this, but on Twitter, this is where I saw it, but it happened in New York. It was people live in an apartment building in Brooklyn. And it was a man, his wife, his son, and then maybe I think the grandma might have been around. Then it was just this other dude, right? So the other dude is the neighbor downstairs, right? So the neighbor downstairs, he comes upstairs, I guess, and he bangs on the door of this family. Now, to what I know now is that it was an ongoing feud for a while, right? But from what I'm looking at, it's like a minute and 45 second to a 2 minute long video. That's how long this video is. It's a dispute. Dude arguing with the wife. The husband looked like he at the door. Like, yo, hold on, because I'm about to come out there. I'm going to get on your head. That's what he looked like he doing, right on the door. So he come out with scissors. Now, dude at the step, he like at the step coming up to the floor that they live on, but he like at the step, but he pacing a lot. He pacing too much, Damon. You know, I know you know, and I know Tish probably know too, when people
I'm not from the suburbs. I'm from the suburbs.
You're from the South, right?
Yeah, but I'm from the suburbs. I wasn't exposed.
All right, well, look, Tish, when people pacing a lot like that, be careful. They pacing for a reason. They shifty. It's something going on, right? For the listeners who might not know. Because this is why I'm talking about this, because I want y'all the listeners and the young people, and I was talking to my sellers about this, and I'm going to say it when I finish. So dude's pacing. So the pop comes out, bro. He got scissors, right? The man, he don't got no shirt on. He tower above the dude in height, but the dude a little stocky, but he big and kind of stocky too. He got scissors. So he got the scissors at the dude. You can't hear nothing. So he kind of walks off. As he walks off, dude shoots him. Like, boom, boom, like shoots him. You know what I'm saying?
It looked like in the video, his wife was like pulling him away or something like that.
Yeah, I think his wife was getting, I don't know what was said, and I wish I knew, but it looked like his wife was getting. The son in the corner, I think the son was just running, like just to get out of the way or something. I don't know if he was charging at the dude or running to get out the way. Dude shot him like 6 times, like right there. Like, oh, trigger warning, sorry for listening. Dude shoots him like 6 times right there. He falls to the ground. Dude shoot him again like 2 to 3 times. Pretty much like he bleeding out. Dude, the dad now is laid out on the ground in front of his door. He go back up to the dad, executes him, shoots him again. And I don't normally watch stuff like this I don't know what made me keep watching this on Twitter. I don't normally watch stuff like this on Twitter. Shoots him again and then just rolls out. He wound up like 2 days later or something, getting caught up by the cops. And he got killed, right? So he got killed like 2 days later by the cops. But I say all that to say it took, because this kid and his dad, who was the dude's stepson, it was about 33 seconds. It took 2 people to die from a neighborly dispute. You know, in about 33 seconds, a lady lost her son and her man, who I believe was her husband. So I was talking to one of my work centers today, and I was telling them, I'm like, hey, y'all, be careful these days, especially with this road rage and these kind of situations like this. A lot of these people now are straight unhinged, and a lot of social interaction, right? And I don't want to become the crazy man, but a lot of social interaction, it doesn't really happen as much. So people don't even really know how to have some of these conversations on a level that we would have had them before. I went to Subway yesterday and didn't have to talk to anybody to get my food. Subway used to be one of the most humanly interactive places that you had to get food from. You know what I mean? But now it's like, I don't have to talk to anybody to get Subways. It's crazy to me. And this was on base. So I say all that to say that, like, be careful out there. It's a lot going on out there. People are crazy. It was a mass shooting. I think like last week, 18 people died. It's shootings on colleges now, like pretty often. So just y'all young sellers and whoever really out there, it might not be worth, your pride might not be worth your life in every single situation. You know what I'm saying? In every single situation.
Damo, you hit so many key points, man. And I'm just going to add a little bit, man. I find myself talking to my younger son about this all the time, man. Yeah. Like you are in the free world, but you got to have your head on a swivel, man. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on around you. People don't even know it right now. People are doing whatever. Like, we damn near like in war right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got so much shit going on in this world right now. And every day we out here we doing this, we doing that. Ain't nobody worried about shit. But I'm telling you, man, stuff can happen in a split second, man. You don't even know. So be careful. Like Damo said, you write this road rage. People, you damn near look on the internet or the news every day, somebody dying from some shit like this, man.
Yep.
Like stuff that could have been prevented, or somebody being the bigger person. You know what I mean? All this stuff that could have happened. But pride, man, pride can get you killed, man.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It's the first thing that people always holler, but it's the principle of the whole thing. Like, principle is not worth your life. Just let it go.
Principles ain't it.
It ain't.
Principles ain't it.
Yeah, man.
I got a couple of do-betters, real quick ones. It's another story I do want to talk about the Coast Guard. Y'all saw that story about the Coast Guard? The Coast Guard chief, the group chat thing? We'll talk about it in a second. Yeah. But a couple do-betters. And I hate that the do-betters got to do with the bathrooms, but they normally do, right?
Here we go again.
And I'm going to have some fun with this. Shout out. So one of my EM1s, he gave me a do-better. He said, hey, CM, man, you got to give a do-better. He on a road trip. He was on a road trip, and he said the rest area bathrooms. So I can't imagine. Right? I could only imagine how bad these rest area bathrooms are from going to like the on base field bathrooms. In San Diego, it's like, yo, I don't even want my ass to touch the seat on this thing, and I don't even do that. But and I don't but so you got to be careful going to these rest area bathrooms, yo. I can only imagine how nasty that is. You know what I mean? So shout out to him. I don't know if y'all ever experienced that, but I do want to shout out to him because he was like, yo, you gotta have this as a do better.
Yeah,
no,
man.
I haven't. I'm real iffy about public bathrooms.
Yeah, but when you got kids, young kids, Tish,
they'll go anywhere. They don't care how dirty it is. And they be trying to touch on everything.
Yeah.
They do. They be trying to touch everywhere. You be like, don't touch that. Maybe they're about to lick the toilet seat.
Yeah, you a little lucky having boys though. You know what I mean? Like, boy, this go there and let it rip, man. But girls go. Sanitation a little bit more high when it comes to girls than boys. Boys going to just whip it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
true.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's a good do better. My do better is that old Tesla drivers, man. You know what I mean? It ain't got nothing to do with Tish. Since I know Tish, ran out of power and all this stuff, so they ain't really got nothing to do with her, man. But I got a problem with Tesla drivers in the fast lane, going 55 or 65 or whatever they doing, because they doing the little self-drive thing they do, man.
Yeah.
Right? So they backing cars up in the freaking lane, and you pass by them. Dude, I didn't pass by, man. And they like reading something. I don't know if it was a newspaper. I don't know if it was a book. I don't know what it is, man. But they read something, man. Reading something. You know what I mean? Like, get in the slow lane. Get in the 55. And go over there and roll 55 over there, man. You don't have to be in the fast lane doing it, man. And then, I ain't want to say is about Tish though, man. You also got to know when the power, get a little low in your car.
Yeah, you got to check that battery,
man. You got to know where them stands at, man. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
the stands.
Them stands,
You got to know where the stands at, man.
Yeah,
listen,
man.
there is no reserve power in the Tesla.
Nah, you thought it was reserved, huh, Tish?
I thought it was. I could have swore. I just knew it was, and I was like, well, I'm gonna find out today because I'm trying to hurry up and get home.
So you thought like after 0%, it was more percent.
Yes.
I just want to know. Oh, I got one more question.
What's up?
Did you think it was a reserve power source, or you thought it was reserve gas?
Power. I thought there was like a reserve power source.
More, yeah. Like after it hit 0, what you thought it hit though? After 0, like what you thought, like the number? What it look like?
In a gas car, there's E, but then it can kind of teeter down below the E to where it's like just resting on the board.
So what's the Tesla? Does it say E or 0?
It says 0.
So you thought something
was percentage. You can either do a percentage or you can do miles by the miles.
Yeah.
So I switched it from the percentage to miles so I can see exactly how
many miles they told you had.
It says 0.
You just thought. So what was it called after 0? What was it called?
Here's the thing. I was close to home. Yeah. Literally, when it cut off, I could see my balcony. That's how close I was. So I was like, surely I can make it to my garage and then I can plug it up. But I didn't calculate the fact that there was a hill that I had to go up to get to my house, and going uphill is a no-go. It's a no-go. And so, in the middle of the hill is when it kind of, he's so disappointed.
He should have.
So first, let me ask this question: how much it is to fill it, like to get all like when you go to a Tesla thing? How much it is to fill it up, like to make sure you got all your power?
It'd be like $23. It'd be like $23.
Easy day
to get it where you need it to be. That's not even to finish your trip. That's just to get it. It's about 30 minutes, about $25. So really, I don't even have a good excuse because it's just like, I just thought that there was a reserve battery pack somewhere.
Yeah, and to the people for the people who don't have, Instagram and stuff and seen the pictures that Tish was taking about this, right? She had one picture where they was putting her car, in the tow truck, and she took a picture of her house, and she, zoomed in on it and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's right. It was like right up the street.
It was right there.
And she didn't make it. And for you listeners don't know about Teslas, when the Tesla run out of power, it don't move. You can't just throw it in neutral. You can't just throw it in neutral and keep it moving.
Because you need power to put it in neutral.
Yeah. So if you want to see some funny stuff, go on Tish page and see how they got that Tesla off that tow truck.
I'm telling you.
If you want to, but it would not.
I don't even think I saw it.
Dumbo, when it's up there, it don't move. He's shaking this thing with his truck like this. He just moving it up and down, trying to like John off of there.
Dude was like, "Do you have any soap?" And so I gave him laundry detergent. He put it in front of my back tires. And then he used the bed. He just kept jimmying it. So
y'all had to use baby. I had to put lube on it.
Yes. So it would slide down. He just slid it into the garage, and then
he had to lube. He had to lube the car.
He had to lube the car.
Wet platinum on the car.
Dumbo. It is the funniest video. Oh my God,
man. That's wow, Tish.
Because the tires won't move. The tires won't move at all. It's like there's no way to put it down into the garage.
Yo, wet platinum on the Tesla is crazy, G.
I had no clue. And they were like, "You sure you don't want to tow it to the charging station? Like, you sure you don't want to tow it there?" I was so embarrassed. I was like, I'm not about to go in a row full of Teslas with this car. And I'm so glad I did it because we wouldn't have had no lube. Yeah. And I probably would have had to go in the store and buy some, but you know how embarrassing that would have been.
They gonna look at you like them EMs look at me when I ask questions.
Dumbo Tish, it was dishwashing soap, guys.
I know. Yeah.
No, it was laundry detergent. It was laundry detergent.
The website. I know somebody Google it. Somebody that don't know what's wet platinum. What is wet platinum? It's blue. It's blue for extracurricular activities. We cheated a lot. I ain't curse y'all, but we cheated a lot to get canceled. Yeah. So I like that.
I could just imagine a BM right now down in deck department. I'm talking about wet platinum next week. Somebody.
Wait till y'all figure out what honey packs are to some of our listeners. I have an actual do better, right? And I think you might like this one, Damon, and appreciate it, right? I feel like we finally need to talk about it. Nobody said nothing about it. But it's something that's been going on in the Navy for years, and people been just pushing this, sweeping this thing out under the rug, and somebody need to talk about it. Who else to talk about it but me, the newly reformed me that's not cursing on the episode? These toilet paper roll holders that be in these heads in these bathrooms. Let's get to it, y'all. Y'all knew this was coming. You know which ones I'm talking about, right, Damon? The ones that nobody ever changed the toilet paper on because it's so complicated. For the civilian listeners that don't know and understand this, first of all, I got video of this, everything, y'all. So when you watching this on YouTube, you're going to see what I'm talking about. You know how the civilian toilet paper rolls, all you do is push it in and you can pull it out the damn toilet paper holder and put the new toilet paper in? That's not what you do with the Navy's thing. It's this little... Damn, yo, I'm trying my best not to curse, yo. It's like a spring connected to like some clip that you got to stick your finger into inside the toilet paper roll, push it in, and work it out. Right? Am I right or wrong, David? Yeah, you got to work it out. And if you got a full toilet paper roll, you're not getting your finger in there. So that's why most people put the toilet paper on top of the roll, because you can't do it. And what does that do to the roll, David? It gives it a diamond shape. Yep. the toilet paper rolls on all Navy ships, they like oval, so we get an actual toilet paper roll, a diamond shape. And I'm going to be straight. It sucks. It's trash. It's garbage. And why can't the Navy just have regular toilet paper rolls? Why do we have to have that complicated shit? Somebody answer me, and I'm not looking for Admiral Cheeseman to answer that question. We need somebody else.
You give him the business every show.
And we actually don't give him the business.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't want. Yeah, let's make sure. We don't want no smoke. No, we love that. He clapped back. He clapped back at the dude.
I was about to say that was the one that was like coming back. Okay.
Yeah, he clapped back at the dude. Some of that stuff be just jokes, but in real life, we really and respect that dude in real life. Like, so he clapped back at the dude. So
I want to add a little bit to that toilet roll thing. And I know I talk about it. I had a couple, do betters been about some toilet rolls and toilet paper and all this stuff. But you heard Domo say it makes that diamond, right? So what that diamond does, you cannot roll it off correctly. So when you try to roll it off, it breaks you got single ply, right? Single ply. So it's breaking every time. So I just want to add that. To that, though.
You gotta hold it, bro. Look, you gotta hold it while you unroll it. You gotta catch it before it break. Hey, if you know, you gotta catch it before it break every time while you unrolling it, just to have a stable, single ply joint. Are you familiar with this?
Otherwise you're gonna have a whole bunch of little pieces.
Yeah, are you familiar? Look, I got a picture of it. I don't know if you can see it. This is it, y'all.
I've never changed it.
No, you don't change it. You don't change it. You just leave it there for somebody like me to almost break your damn finger trying to change this thing. You don't change it. People like me change it. Like weird people like me that want to see things the right way. Like,
it most definitely ain't easy to get off either, man. It's horrible.
It's trash, y'all. We had to talk. It had to be said, y'all. It had to be said. I want to get into this thing that I wanted to get into that I don't remember yet. So I'm trying to find it. So I'm trying to kill time. The Army, right? So the headline: Army apologizes for sending soldiers last minute recruiting orders. Right. So if y'all don't, we were going to talk about this, but we didn't. the Army is making like recruiter a rate, right? Yeah. We never talked about this, but the Army, they trying to get a new rate, making a recruiter a rate. So they sent out like they looking for recruiters to fill the rate. And I'm going to deliver this wrong a little bit because I ain't about to read this whole thing.
Yeah.
But they sent out, it says, the sudden need emerged when the Army discovered it faced a recruiter shortfall due to errors in its forecasted recruiter strength. The 3-star claimed the unspecified forecasting failures have been fixed. So they either making it a rate or they're adding more and more people. So the Army hopes to source an additional 800 attendees for the November-December courses at the recruiting school. But what they did was they sent out this email. And I like I said, I'm gonna report this wrong. I'm sorry for the listening. But they sent out this email that made people think that they were getting drafted, right? but really, they was just looking for recruiters. So it says, apologize to the soldiers and their families that received the last minute notification. That mistake is mine. Let me read a little bit of this so we kind of get some more context. It says, throughout the week, non-commissioned officers across the Army have received notices through their branch managers and other officials that the service needs more recruiting NCOs and it needs them fast. According to the requisition emails posted to social media channels like Army Reddit, the Army is seeking volunteers to attend recruiting school as soon as November 6th. And has waived a host of standing qualifications in order to boost attendance. But other users report receiving notifications for involuntary orders directing them to attend the course at Fort Knox, Kentucky. After public outcry about the move and instruction from General Randy George, the service's chief of staff, the Army's top personnel officer spoke with reporters and said they apologized to the soldiers. So they pretty much short fuse orders a whole bunch of fucking people to go to this school. To go to recruiting school. They short fuse orders and then they just apologize for it. They said sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they changed it. Looking at this, and one of the listeners who want to dig through this tell me, I don't think they changed it. They short fuse orders like, hey, we need you on school by November 6th. And then they said, hey, we sorry that we said that.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Pretty much, it's on me. That's pretty much what you said. It's on me. Sorry about that.
Yeah. It said it's bonuses. It says, in addition to volunteer bonus and sergeant promotions. So I don't want to get into it. It says, it's a lump sum bonus of $5,000 available to volunteer Army. Whoever could complete recruiter training by February. It's crazy that they doing all this, for just to get recruiters, yo. That's how wild it is right now. And they doing this to get recruiters. I don't know if y'all saw this, but the Air Force and the Space Force, they expanded the age to what, 42?
42,
was it 40?
bro. Yeah. I just saw that too. 42, man. That means, to be honest with you, man, you can retire.
Yeah.
20 years. Be like 38, 39.
Yeah.
And go straight into the Air Force, man.
Yep. Yeah, you go right to the Air Force.
That's crazy right there, man. You know
that's wild. And then you can retire from there. 62, baby.
Yeah. 62. Tish, time get hard out there, Tish. Go ahead.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought my knees was locking up at like 36.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Way. I can't imagine no type of test.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm 62, we desk jobbing it. Like, yo, look, man.
Right.
What you need me to do today, dog?
Yeah.
Remember when I worked at Wendy's? Look, when I used to work that, like, I ain't gonna go too far. So I used to work at Wendy's and I was an older person there, right? I worked the night shift. This is literally what she said. She's like, we could come down to like an agreement. Like, I'm gonna go with my girlfriend at a certain time. I'm gonna stay clocked in. You just tell me what you need me to do. I'm going to get it done and I'm out, you know? And I ain't really mess with her because she was old head. You know what I mean? She was older. She was way older than I'm young, man. I'm like 16, 17. So she come in, but I was assistant manager. So she would come in the night shift. She would work like 2 hours and set her whole job up as if she was there the whole night. And then she would dip every time she would dip, you know? And if I was 57 and my LPO was 22, me and him gotta come in some kind of agreement.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
Like we gotta come like, hey, dog, look. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was crazy. I'm
gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. I can't, y'all work until they like, hey, we gotta push it out. We got the switchboard cleaner. let me holler at you. You know what I mean? Y'all about to, I ain't doing no switchboard cleaner. I can prep the boards for y'all. I can prep the scan for y'all, get everything ready, but I'm not staying there till no damn 4 o'clock in the morning. Y'all got that.
Yeah.
I can even put the sticker on the tag for you.
Yeah.
But I ain't
that's it. So, but what's up with the Army? The Army is doing something different like every week, it seems like.
Yeah. They trying to get some recruits, man. Yeah.
We need people. But we talk about this all the time, so I don't want to get into it too much. We need people though. Yeah. It's the last thing that I want to get into is this whole thing that I don't know much about, but it says Coastie faces. Hey, for the listeners that like read through these articles with us, thank y'all. Thank y'all for going through 3 years of reading through articles with us. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like some of the stuff we do kind of do research on, but some of this stuff we kind of figuring out as it goes. A U.S. Coast Guardman faced the military highest court yesterday for sending disrespectful texts to other service members. So this happened in January, but this is the result of what happened in January. Inciting questions over the consequences of distributing inappropriate messages to fellow troops on duty. Chief Machinery Technician Fernando Brown, who was stationed with the Coast Guard Heavy Icebreaker Polar Star, and that's the names of their vessels. Come on, y'all. Yeah, got presidents. Yeah, got presidents. They got like a Polestar, I know it's Polar Star, but a Polestar like an electronic car or something like that. That's what it's an electronic car. Was previously convicted for the series of communications that took place during the summer of 2019. Damn, he waited a long time. It says the messages and questions were a series of memes, typically a humorous photo or video. I'm going to say this now. Trigger warning. I don't know what we about to read. That Brown sent while in dry dock in Vallejo, California, to 3 unnamed chief petty officers in a group chat named Chief's Mess. The first message, according to proceedings, featured an image of a fellow Coast Guardsman from her high school yearbook alongside the caption, "Voted most likely to steal your bitch." That wasn't me cursing. That was the text. A second message included an image of a scantily dressed man with Dallas Cowboys body paint, according to court documents, and the caption suggested it was the reason another member of the chat missed a recent Chiefs call. That's actually, that's actually pretty stupid. And,
very much.
But the final message was a photograph of the last member of the chat with crudely drawn male genitalia on his hard hat. So this dude was just like childish, right? Just childish. Like following the text, some in the chat testified that they felt victimized. They was on his ass. I don't even feel like we need to read. It says, while others said they did not find the memes to be personally disrespectful. For his actions, Brown received an initial sentence in 2020 of a reduction in rank from E7 to E4. 30 days of restriction and a reprimand. The sentence was partly upheld by the Coast Guard Criminal Appeals in 2022. I think he's an E6 now. I don't think we got to get too deep into it, but I think they do start talking about like group chats, like things you can and can't say in group chats. So this happened in the group chat. People came, they was on your ass, bro.
They
ain't like you, man.
For sure.
They ain't like you, bro. He was playing too much. And you got to know, and ain't nobody. Let me tell you something about the group chat, y'all. Let me tell y'all something about the group chat for the people. I don't play around in the group chat. But if you play in the group chat, yo, and ain't nobody playing back with you,
right?
They'll mess with you, dog. It ain't for you. You got to stop, man. You got to stop, man. It don't seem like nobody else was going off in this group chat. But my man, you know what I'm saying? You can't just draw genitalia and hard hats, man. Genitalia and hard hats to get you up out of here, dog. You know? E7, the initial joint, whoever did it initial, they went high and right on his ass. E7 to E4, bro.
Yeah, E4. That's big time right there. It had to be 6. Hey, I tell you what, man. Speaking of it, had to be a pretty big deal because, and I'm going to apologize to my CMC because I haven't opened his email yet, but he sent the email about this. Group chats. He sent the email. I ain't read it yet. Sorry about that, man. Chief. I ain't read that thing yet. But
that's just.
But he did send the email. about that.
Hey, so remember we talk about like a chief and a guy, right? So look, like this what the quote say. Petty Officer Brown is a man that loves his country.
That's how I started out, bro.
Petty Officer Brown.
Oh my God.
Officer Brown is a man that loves his country, loves his service, and he would never do anything to deliberately upset or disrupt anybody's morale. The morale of the unit, the cohesiveness of the unit. Hey, bro, morale is in the eye of the beholder, bro.
Yes,
what you think might be making you happy might be disturbing somebody else.
Yep.
That genitalia or that hard hat.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Some people just play too much. They just play too much.
Yeah.
And I know, well, they only had like 4 people they said in the group chat. But in those group chats where you're at a larger command or you have to combine messes and your phone constantly going off, and then you got somebody who playing over here and your phone going off, you like, somebody wasn't having it. He has to not be a good person.
Yo, look, listen to this paragraph. The facts indicate.
That sounds like
this ain't even a serious case, yo.
That sounds like
it says the facts indicate that the victims were accessing the text message string for the purpose of seeking out work-related information. Lieutenant Commander Daniel Halsick said during the hearing, adding that one of the victims testified that he created the group chat for work purposes.
I bet you did.
Yo, my man put them things in that chat. They called each other off the chat and was like, hey, whatever we got in there that ain't legit, delete that shit. We about to get his ass
right
up, man.
Now.
Be careful in group chats.
Most definitely. Hey, man, so I had this, I was talking to this sailor on board the ship, man. It was an HT, man. And he got some new neighbors, man. And so he go over there, they introduce each other, he tell him what he do in the Navy. You know, he found out, hey, he's the HT, so he's like a plumber, he weld, he do all this stuff. So the neighbor had a leak, a water leak.
Yeah.
So the first person he called was him. Cause he a HT. He do like plumbing and stuff, right? So my question for you guys is, man, have you ever been like, do people seek you out because of what you do in the Navy?
Yes. I've got hit up about electrical work before, and it was the worst job ever. Like, it was like a family member. This was some years ago. It's crazy because most people don't even know what I do in the Navy. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it was a family member. I was visiting for like Thanksgiving holiday, and the dude, he takes me, he like, yo, if you do electrical work, maybe you could do this. He takes me to like this 1950s electrical breaker setup. He like, yo, I'm trying to get the lights going from up here to here, wired up with this, that. What can you do for me? I'm like, yo, I can't do none of that. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do, I ain't doing none of that. It was like one of my grandma friends too. So, you know, he was older. My grandma a couple times hit me up like, hey, he's still asking. I said, yo, grandma, I can't do that. I ain't doing that. But outside of that, I don't get hit up there. I think I went over your house and was troubleshooting something before.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I called you up, bro. You let me know real quick. Hey, this ain't no damn ship.
I troubleshooting something over there. We was doing receptacles over there, man. Then my
receptacles,
my old electro he'd be like, hey, I'm wiring up a new light up in my overhead. Can you take a look at this? Let me know what you think. Where should I wire this up with this? You know, so that. What about you, Tish?
All the time. Yeah. Even yesterday, or no, it was the other day, I got hit up by one of my old sailors about a landlord-tenant issue.
Yeah.
Like, I get hit all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't want yours.
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't want yours. I take the electrical joints over to A. I just got into a car accident. Or A. I just slapped the hell out of such and such at Walmart.
Right. Like, I will get not text messages, but Facebook DMs. Like people will message me like, hey, hope all is well. Hit me up when you get a chance. I already know. They don't give a damn about how I'm doing. They need me.
Once you answer back, they know you online now. They know they got
they
you.
need something. I've actually had, this was like some years ago, probably like, I've been here for 6 years, maybe like 5 years ago. Somebody that I was stationed with in Japan, he hit me up. And he hit me up on Facebook. He called me and he don't usually, like, we don't talk like that. So when he called, I'm like, let me answer the phone. I already knew it was probably something legal related. So I was like, all right, let me go ahead and answer the phone. This dude says, hey, so the police is outside my house. They say they have a search warrant. Do I have to let them in? I was like, dog, why are you calling me?
I know, right?
Like, I'm about to hang up the phone. like, listen, like, what the hell? Like, yeah, I get people call me all the time. That was the worst situation I've had, but yeah, people be calling all the time. Probably on at least once a month, at least.
Yeah.
Even
That's
still that I'm retired, even still once a month.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah,
man. I had a plumbing issue I was helping out with, man. And same thing though, man. You know, people find out what you do in the Navy, and I don't do a whole lot of plumbing, but I work with the HTs too, so I know a little bit about plumbing. So I really talk to people like I know what's going on with plumbing, right? So this guy called me over, to help him out or whatever. But when I get over there, man, he's trying to run pipes through walls and shit. And hook it up in different rooms and do all this stuff. I said, man, I'm more like if you got a little leak, man, you know what I'm saying? Let's figure that shit out. I ain't running no pipe through.
Like, nah, I'll do this.
No pipe through walls and cutting holes in walls and all this stuff. I said, nah, I ain't doing all that. Man. You been calling me up saying I jack your stuff up.
Yeah, you ever see the meme of the dude in front of the switchboard with his hands on his hips, like just looking like he confused? Like that. Nah, this ain't this one, man. Right? That's like your boy when he took me down to the space. He was doing the checks. I said, dude, we talked about this on the pod, so I ain't gonna get into it, man. But where's the bit? What did Damon do is he took me down on a space teach doing in-serve checks, right? That I'm like, yo, you good? You ready? You practice? He's like, yeah. He what he was doing, like from the beginning. Like, we talked about it on the pod, so I ain't gonna get into it. I'm not gonna review a book. Read a damn book, right? If you're a listener, hey, Damon, that wasn't for you, David. It's for the listeners. Hey, for the listeners, read a book your damn self. You know what I mean? Read a book and give me some book. Give us some book suggestions. I have some books, but I'm not going to read, review a book. This book that I was reading, that I am reading, Red Rising, is getting better and better. So I want to get through it. But I want us to leave kind of how we started. So, thanking the fans. Love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Definitely.
I wanted to talk about one thing. I think our personalities shift with the pod, Damon. I was talking to Tisha about this before. I was saying, like, if you see us in person, Damon is the talker. Like, he's more of the talker than I am. Damon say more words than me, like a lot of times. I don't think in person I deliver words the greatest. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting better with it, especially with like the sailors and stuff like that. But with a bunch of peers in person, I'm doomsday guy. Like, yo, it's the end of the fucking world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. You know what I mean? Like,
some changes.
This is it. Like, this is what we doing. Like, we suck. We garbage. And it's funny because, like, I could always stand on, my stuff. Somebody was talking about it. And I don't want to get too deep into it, but somebody was talking about how he put himself into the spotlight so he could be challenged, right? And he had inspired me. It's been a while since I was inspired by somebody about Navy stuff. And it's somebody that came up. I was like a mentor to this person as they came up. And they are seeing Chief 2 now, but he was telling me about like what he did as a chief. He said, I just threw myself in front of the bullets because I knew that I would shine through, And I'm like, dang, like, it's been a while, and so I used to do that. Like that's how I am in person. Like I just throw myself like if you I'm gonna say something, you probably not gonna like it, but I'm going to hold down my side of the fort, so it don't even matter. You know what I mean? But shout out to the listeners, man. Shout out to the listeners. I cannot say enough how much we love. We appreciate y'all. We thank you for your patience. We get it. We understand. We take it in. We know we got a video. We got a movie review coming. For some reason, I don't think we about to do it today. We got a hero coming. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming for y'all. We not finished with none of that stuff. I know how much y'all love the hero of the week. So appreciate that. And I appreciate you, Damon. Thanks, man. It's been a ride, right? We're not going to do much. We got our 100th episode coming up. But I mean, we're doing it here, right? It's 3 years. This is the leather year, if y'all wondering, for like anniversaries. It's like the leather year, right? But and I feel like that's what we are now. Like, it don't matter, like high, low, whatever. We kind of get closer personally, and then we get better as a podcast. And honestly, I could not be doing it with a better group of people. You know what I mean? So I appreciate it. One day we'll have a staff and somebody else to do more like editing and shit like that. Cause sometimes I hate that. Like, it takes my whole weekend and stuff like that. But,
and one day we'll do it live. It'll be cool to do it live and interact with our listeners.
Hey, it's time though. Me and Dumbo been talking about for this for so long. It's time though. No crap, man. We need to put this in the air right now. We just go ahead and just say it. The 100th episode, we go live. The 100th
there we
episode.
go.
You know what I mean? You guys hear it right now. 100th episode coming soon. We going live, man. It's a done deal, man. It's a done. We just got to do it. Cause we always been talking about, me and Dumbo been talking about this since the episode, I don't know, way back in the day. Man, we can do a live episode. We just never done it. So get ready. It's going down.
Yeah. Hey, for the listeners, bad news. My battery just died on my camera. This is the first time ever. Like, it's because Damon was rushing us. This is the first time ever that I didn't charge my camera up as I was using it. Thanks, Damon. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
But hey, back to me. Hey, like Dumbo said, man, thanks to everybody, man. Listeners, supporters, and again to the team, man. Me and Dumbo been rocking this thing for 3 years now, man. And we're going to continue to rock it. We got Tish on board, man. And this is what we do, man. Like, we want to, but we need you guys, help on, hey, anything out there that you guys want to talk about, man.
Yeah.
Anything. It don't matter, man. We ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's situations that I guarantee you one of us have know somebody that then seen it or, you know, whatever the case be, or done it. Who knows, right? So talk to us, hit us up, man. We'll most definitely get on here and talk about it, man. It's permission to speak freely for a reason, man. And we ain't scared.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, since everybody's saying thank you, I want to give my shout outs too to all of our listeners. And like y'all was talking about patience, they've been patient with me. Okay. And I've needed a lot of patience, coming in. So thank you everybody, all the engagement on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, even our haters, even the haters, you know, that's engagement too. We'll take it. You know, we'll take that too. And, for you two, just for, you know, bringing me on and like I said, making me feel comfortable and just being the people that you are and just being genuine and supportive and, you know, allowing me time and your patience as I'm like working through my transition out of the Navy and into civilian life and businesses and all of that stuff that I have going on. And you guys have just been very patient and helping me out with all of my technical issues and everything and never making me feel like I was a burden. Even when I felt like I was, you guys always like lifted me up. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. These are some real genuine people on here. Like how do you say it? Genuinity? I don't know if that's a word, but it's a word now that y'all see.
Twice.
I know,
Twice.
right? I was just making up shit.
Yeah, two words.
Right? What y'all see on here, like that's really how they are. And I would say even more so behind closed doors. So I've never worked directly with you guys, but I can just only imagine like the respect that your sailors have for you. Cause you guys are some real genuine leaders and we need more of you guys. So make sure y'all stay in. You know, we need leaders like you in the Navy.
Yeah,
y'all stay in.
35.
We need you.
35. Got back issues, leg issues, got finger issues. I got all type of stuff going on, man. 3 years and count. 3 years and count. And one more shot. I forgot. Congratulations to the Seaman and Admiral selectees, man. Congrats to you guys out there, man. Big shots out.
Yeah.
Congrats, y'all. I ain't got no camera, so I'm trying to get my ass up out of here now, man. Way to go out on your anniversary.
Another shout out to y'all parents. Like y'all parents been riders like for the long haul. So I be seeing them commenting on under there and everything. I be trying to watch my language too, and I be like, I be trying to make like, hold on, let me make sure I'm coming correct. I don't want to cut with mom dudes.
Hey, I don't want to cut you off, Tish, real quick, but that's Dumbo family, man.
That's
you know what I mean? My family. Hey, don't get me started on my family. Holla at your boy, man. Don't get me started, man. They don't even know me out here in Cali, man.
Stand up.
Mississippi, stand up.
Stand up.
Mississippi people, man.
Shout out to my mom. Love you.
See yourself this way, but this is the way I see you. And I see you as trailblazers, okay? And I think that history will look back on the Permission to Speak Freely podcast as a first step in something that the Navy should have been doing a long time ago. I see you guys 100% as trailblazers, as being willing to put yourselves out there and not afraid of the feedback. And I think that it's not for everybody. That's for sure. It's not for everybody, man. Not everybody needs to put a microphone in front of their face, right? But the way you guys are doing it is just fucking fantastic. I'm so proud of you guys. I look up to you a lot from the very beginning of this thing about, just having the courage to fucking do something like this, right? So do not fucking stop. Do not fucking stop. Even though it gets hard and you're going to get pushback and motherfuckers are going to talk shit, like, fuck them. You got to keep going, because I look at you guys as like you are true fucking trailblazers in our time right now, man.
Damn. Thanks, Dean.
Hey, thanks, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
That's real talk.
That's how we end.
I know you clipped it. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's real talk, bro. Okay.
Yeah, clip it.